Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a request from us here from African Confessions. We were asking that whenever you start listening to any episode you hit the like button, as well as to comment, always to comment in the comment section. It helps the video to reach more people because of the engagement. So this was a request that we are sending to you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The first message, it was sent to me by one of our dear sisters. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. She is asking for advice. The message that she sent to me, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? Honestly, I really do not know. Am I supposed to do this or not? I have been working for my boss for the past 3 years now. My boss, he comes from Zim. He is a very wealthy man. So they let me run their company. Most of the times they are out of South Africa. They don't stay here. They stay out of the country. They stay in America as well as their country in Zim. They want me to go to their house. Right now, as I am talking with you, they are on a vacation in Italy. I'm scared, but I've since applied for a passport. I'm waiting for the passport to come out. And the day when I went to the Home Affairs, this was after my boss had threatened to fire me. And what he said, it was really hurtful. He said that there are a lot of South Africans that are willing to do the job that I don't want to do. I am getting paid money that is good. They recently bought a car for me. It is not a company car. It is a car that is in my name. As you know, that a car that you take from the dealership, it still will be on bond. So they are the ones that are paying for the bond of that car. If I stop working, then it means that this car, it will be repossessed. I can't even afford the car that they bought for me. The last time when I went to service the car, I was shocked when they had printed out the invoice, the money that was needed for them to change some things, air filters and whatsoever, and airbags that needed replacement. The money that was on the invoice, it was close to 53k that my boss paid. So I can't afford this car on my own. Going to Zim, they say that I will fly by aeroplane and I am supposed to go and clean their house. I have been cleaning one of their house that is in 4 ways. The things that I see there, no human being is supposed to see those things. The first time when I saw a skeleton that was walking in the house, I thought that maybe I was crazy or there was something that was wrong with me. Later on, when I asked my boss's wife, because she is quite a friendly woman, I asked her, is it possible that someone can see human bones like a skeleton walking in broad daylight? She laughed and she said, where did you see it? And then I opened up to her and I told her what happened on that day. It was early in the morning. I drove from the offices because even though I am like the boss of the company, but I am like a maid. They treat me as if I am their maid, a waitress when they are in South Africa. So I know my duties. When I left the office, I then went to 4 ways to their house and I started cleaning. So I already had a bucket, a mop and a broom. So after I had finished sweeping, I was in the hallway when I was busy mopping. So I felt that there was something that was making sound like karr, karr, and I looked and I saw that there was a skeleton that was walking. This skeleton, it was walking towards me. I screamed, and the next thing that happened, I was outside of the house. I don't know how I got outside, but I found myself outside and I was scared to return back. I then did what my bosses told me to never do. I went and I picked up some ladies, and they came and they cleaned the house for me. My boss, when he found out that this was what he had done, he threatened to fire me. So I spoke with the wife and I told her that this was what had happened, and this forced me to be afraid to get into the house. And then they told me that this is the way that they make money. They did not tell me that they do rituals. They just said that this is the way that we make money. So as I am speaking with you right now, I'm scared, because they said that when you go to Zim, you don't have to stay in the hotel, because where they are staying, I even saw the videos, that place is so beautiful. You can think that it is not even in Africa. The house is more than beautiful. But I'm scared to stay in a house in a country where I don't know anybody, and knowing that these are some of the things that I see at one of their house, which is in 4 ways. Can you advise me? Give me proper advice, please. What am I supposed to do? Should I trust my instincts and go to Zim? Because I'm telling myself that I need this job more than ever. That is the gut feeling that I have, but I'm scared that if I go there, I will see things maybe that will make me to lose my mind. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Must she go to Zim, or you do not advise her to go to Zim? Tell us what you think in the comment section. Then there is another message that was sent to me by our Nigerian brother. The message, it reads like this: I am looking for revenge. My heart is full of pain, bitterness, and revenge is going to come. Revenge is going to come. My revenge will come from the devil. I used to stay in Johannesburg, and I had a very beautiful house that me and my South African wife, we had bought. We bought this house before we had gotten married. I did not have any documents at all. I went to South Africa with a passport that did not belong to me. We literally had to stick out the picture, and I had my picture on that passport. I went through the customs somehow, and I ended up being in South Africa. I started hustling. I'm someone that is very good, way good at panel beating. My father, he also had a small company that was an informal company. He was the one that taught me how to panel beat cars, and I only did German cars, which were very expensive. And when I was in Johannesburg, I started working for this other big man from Nigeria who owns a lot of chop shops. So I worked for him for a very long time. And then there was this other man that was South African. He was from Soweto. He was an entrepreneur. He wanted to start his own company, but he was not a mechanic. He did not know much about cars. All that he had was money. He then said that he wanted us to do a business deal. He then took me and we started working together. We opened up a shop together and business started flowing and flowing. He then got a tender and we started to fix government cars. The money that he was making, it was quite a lot. He would pay me a lot of money as his business partner, and I was even using his bank account. I did not have a bank account of my own. And I then met my South African wife, a very beautiful woman. She would melt my heart whenever she would say that she had never been loved like the way that I was loving her in her entire life. I thought that she loved me, and she said that I had rescued her from poverty, because that is what I did. I said that I'm going to look for a South African woman who comes from a poor background, someone that goes to church, because I was a church person. Right now, I hate church and I do not want to go to church until I do my revenge. So when I found this woman, she was going to this other Pentecostal church. I even met her on a Sunday. She was on her way going to church, and I said, this is the one, but I did not know about her background. It turned out that she came from a very poor background. She stayed in Soweto. She had one child, and I told her that I loved him and I was going to treat her like she was a queen. I bought everything that she wanted. I went with her to her house. The introductions were done, and her family, they loved me. I thought that because I was going to bring her out of poverty, this was what was going to make her love me. And I told her about my weaknesses, how I had found myself in South Africa, and how I was vulnerable. And then me and her, we started staying together. When we started to stay together, I then told her that I was using another man's bank account, and now that she was pregnant for me, if it was okay, she would open an account for me. It was a Standard Bank account. We went together to the bank. She opened the account for me, and I started to get my portion from the business that we would divide, me and my South African business partner. So life was moving great. We even managed to go to the bank, and we then got an offer for a vehicle. Me and her, we took vehicles, one for her, one for me. I was the one that was paying. And then I said, we need to have a house, because I had this vision of buying houses, many houses, and then we'll start to rent out those houses. That was what I wanted to get into real estate. And she was the right person, because the moment that money started to flow into her account, sometimes I would have 500k that will be in her account. So it boosted her credit score, and we were able to get a house, and we got married after we had already processed the house. I then spoke with my wife, and I said, I don't want this thing of having too many credits. You know, me and my other partner, we make so much money. I can ask him to borrow me money so that we can pay off this house, because the house that we had gotten, it was close to 1.4 mil, and then we paid off that house. And I sorted out my friend as time went on. By then, we were already married, me and my wife. Since the house was in her name, I never thought much about having this house between me and her. Then the contracts, they started to dry up, because this friend of mine, I used to tell him, you know, when you are getting rich, when you are rich like this, do not show off to anyone that you have so much money, because there are things that you might do and SARS will end up chasing you. And I knew that he would use money from the business for his personal spending, and I used to tell him not to do that. He was supposed to transfer as a salary so that he can pay the income tax later on. But my partner, he was someone that loved women. He would go, he would just change vehicles like buying bread. Today, he is driving this model. He goes to the dealership and he takes another car. Because we were making money through the business, he did not really mind. So later on, SARS started to chase the business, and that was it. Our contracts, they dried up, and we had no money. And me and my wife, we stayed together. But women, when money dries up, you will see the true woman that you have married. She was someone that was always shouting at me. She told me that we were supposed to move out of the house. That is where I made the mistake. She said that, let us put some tenants in the house, then we move back to Soweto. So I agreed, and we started staying at her parents' house. I should have never done something like that. I calculated and I said that our house, if we can make maybe 14k each and every month, at least we can manage. But I was fooling myself. And this woman, one morning after I had called her throughout the night, she did not pick up the call. When she came back, I was angry. Where were you? And she just said, pack your bags, chief. This is my country, not yours. I thought that it was a joke. Then her brothers started saying, why are you shouting? And before I could even do anything, my suitcase was outside. Just like that. That is how I was chased out of Soweto. I will never ever forget that place. I was chased out like a dog. There were people that were standing outside. She even accused me of being a drug dealer, but I have never touched drugs in my entire life. Ever since I was still in university, I never touched drugs, never sold drugs, but she told people that I was a drug dealer. She did not want to stay with me anymore. I called one of my other brother. He was just a brother because he was from Nigeria, and we went to the same university. He came and he picked me up. I stayed with him, and then he told me that there were these other people that could transport me from South Africa, and that is how I came to the UK as a refugee. So this is where I am. I'm in the UK right now, and I am driving an Uber. Like, I don't rest night and day. I am always in the car, and it hurts me so bad to know that I have a property that I have in South Africa. It was my money that I worked hard for. I tried to show this woman that there are men that are good, men that can give you love, but that woman, because I had stopped making money like the way that I used to make money, the way that she kicked me out as if I was a dog. But I have not forgotten. They say that the axe that has cut a tree will forget, but the tree that has been cut by the axe will never forget. I am raising money each and every time. When I make money, I put money aside. I am saving the money, not for investment, because I am a refugee. I can't go back to Nigeria right now. I want this other healer. He's supposed to come to the UK, so there is a lot of money that is needed. This healer from our village, because I come from Imo State, that is where I was born and I was raised. That man is going to come to the UK. That is my mission. I don't want peace, and I don't want reconciliation with my ex-wife. I want him to suffer. I want her to suffer so much that even she will start to cry to her ancestors to come and rescue her. I want her to know that no matter how far she runs, no matter where she goes to, she will learn to never betray a Nigerian man who tried to give her love ever again in her life. That woman is going to breathe fire. That woman will never see peace. That woman will never know rest in her life. She is going to be on her period 24 hours, and I do not want her to die. I want her to beg in the street. I want him to run mad. Any person that she meets, I want her to confess the things that she did to me. She took me for a fool, and she took my house, but I will take her life slow, painfully, and I am going to do that. This is my confession. I always listen to your confession when I am in the car. That is all that gives me peace, to know and to hear other problems that other people are facing. But that woman, what she did to me was painful. I will never forget her. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to speak with our brother in the comment section. Hey, yeah,